My name is Akila Sanjit Williams, and this is a short introduction video to my final project. The Blackpool Rewilding Centre was my project for semester 2, based on a regenerative approach to architecture with regards to global tipping points we're rapidly approaching. Our current way of living accounts for major impacts on climate change and destruction of biospheres, which we tend to overlook as humans as seen on this map here. Based on past events like the COVID lockdown, the re-emergence of nature in cities has recorded positive impacts on climate change and development of species in our once denatured cities. One of the projects that thoroughly inspired me was the London's Wild West End project by Arup, which incorporates nature into the dense urban expanse of the city with a subtle green corridor which has brought back life to the city in strong trends towards reducing carbon contributions, fighting urban heat island issues, and flood risks in the city. Inspired by the past research and regenerative strategies, rewilding seems like a promising approach towards tackling global issues and tipping points. My first step was observing potential green links in Blackpool and possibilities of rewilding the city by the year 2050, and my strategies towards ensuring all stakeholders of the project benefit from it. As Blackpool is considered one of UK's most popular destinations, there is much potential for promoting a regenerative future for this entertainment-rich town. Considering this long-term project, Phase 1 starts with incorporating 2 existing green reserves to the site as a catalyst. Due to many species of flora and fauna in Merton Mere Nature Reserve within close proximity to the site, there is much potential to incorporate them into the rewilding project via sky bridges within this town. It is important to critically analyse contextual issues for a resilient approach to design. Based on the Urban Heat Island Index in Blackpool, rewilding the town could significantly reduce temperatures generated by the cityscape by the creation of green pockets. Furthermore, upon analysis, Blackpool's current flood risk could be mitigated by ensuring rainwater runoff is disposed efficiently with the use of green sites of the rewilding project. There are 4 main stakeholders which play a vital role in the success of the rewilding project, and we will be discussing their needs further down this presentation. To ensure their needs are met, my strategy requires a list of customized activities that could best benefit them and drive the objectives I strive to achieve in this project. The goal of the rewilding project is to highlight the importance of incorporating nature into our daily lives and our responsibility to fight issues such as climate change and biodiversity loss. This goal can be achieved by building resilience in the Blackpool community with experience-based learning, nature conservation strategies, and self-sustainable lifestyle options that could benefit them in the future. With careful consideration to the needs of the stakeholders, my design brief consists of a forest school that caters to all ages, a gallery and exhibition space for the discussion of regenerative topics, and an information hub and seed bank supporting the rewilding project, which is vital, and a nature observation pod scattered around the site, which bring excitement to the whole experience. Based on the design brief, my design development began by analysing opportunities on site. Considering the green links I wish to link to my site, the site can be divided to minimise the disturbance of biodiversity introduced while taking advantage of potential pedestrian pathways that invite people into the site. By studying traffic patterns and placement of my nature reserve, the main access to the site is the Rigby Road. As the buildable area is north of the site, the primary structure can be built to observe the rewilded site and perhaps ensure more experience as it goes along. Based on the design brief, the main elements of the project are housed in the primary structure, while the observation pods will be nestled around the sites. The design for the primary structure was derived by the experience of a tree's canopy and how its branches create levels and angular spaces that I believe to be a driving force in the architectural character. The observation pods, as seen below, create varying experiences that best reflect the beauty of nature and the importance of the rewilding project. The treehouse-like structure for the primary components were developed by climate conditions on site. The angles of the structure were derived by the elevations of the sun, while ensuring the internal spaces are shaded during the warmer periods of the year, while exposing them during the cooler periods of the year to keep them warm. Based on wind patterns, the structure has the potential to incorporate passive ventilation strategies for a more sustainable approach. The design for my structure was inspired by the Rotorua headquarters of Skyon, which has similar characteristics to what I wish to achieve. As the structure is likely to be exposed to the elements, larch as a timber option seems promising as it's locally sourced and commonly used in the UK. Based on my precedents, I developed an interpretation of the timber structure. It consists of a combination of larch glulam components sourced locally with joints that could be assembled on site with ease and disassembled once the project is complete. The design for the enclosure was inspired by the timber skeleton building for Tamidia by architect Shigeru Ban. The subtlety of the building's enclosure draws attention to the primary architectural elements of timber which arise from within the building. He used a mixture of glazing and timber frame members for this enclosure. For the solid wall components, locally sourced prefabricated straw bale panels were the best option as they have excellent thermal insulative properties that are natural and sustainable materials. The design development includes a combination of sustainable strategies. These stem from the use of natural ventilation, sun exposure, and the collection of rainwater that is used for basic needs of the building. The project includes an on-site greywater treatment plant that purifies the water that feeds the marshlands of the rewilding project. The inclusion of both flora and fauna is a key aspect of my design objective. Based on species that dwell in Blackpool, their existence in the structure represents cohabitation, which is a vital element of this project. Based on the design brief, the placement of spaces are shown here. The Community Rewilding Centre is the primary structure on site which hosts the main elements of the design brief. The observation pods and experience centres are scattered throughout the site for a more holistic rewilding experience. Based on the natural habitat, the site strives to include a mixture of mild wetlands and mild forestry that could host a variety of flora and fauna. Each observation pod is placed in relevant habitats that gives visitors a varying perspective of nature and the life that exists within it. With significant design development, the primary structure consists of the main components of the design brief. The main access of the treehouse-like structure is through an elevated ramp bridge. The entrance opens into the main gallery space with a central courtyard and vistas towards the site beyond. The semi-private spaces are accessible on the upper floors, which host activities by the Forest School and the Information Centre. The details section displays the use of materials that complement the angular timber structure. The combination of internal and external spaces create exciting experiences that portray the overall goal of living with nature. Since the project runs during the warmer periods of the year, the need for heating is minimized to improve sustainable strategies and comfort levels within the spaces inside. These visuals represent the character of the primary structure and the combination of natural elements that feed the objectives of the rewilding project. Based on the master plan, the success of the rewilding project could potentially move humanity towards a brighter future, fueled by cohabitation and strong values of preserving our planet. Thank you for watching.